Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And newbies, welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all, I missed y'all so much. I've been gone for a minute. Had to take a little sabbatical. Because when you covering so many dark stories that I tend to cover on this channel, it tends to take a toll on your mental. A little bit on your psyche. So when that happens, we need to take a break and regroup and come back. But I really wanted to thank y'all for still supporting the channel and sending me messages and emails, just checking in and keeping me posted on updates of what's been going on. And with that being said, speaking of updates, bringing an update on the daycare owner of Little Kids Castle, Shantari Weems, who shot her disgusting piece of crap husband, James Weems, for violating the children at her daycare. We talked about this about 6 months ago. Here's a little recap.
Rick, Denise, warning, this is a sensitive case, and some of what you're about to hear is disturbing. The prosecutor called James Weems manipulative and a threat to children. Now, he appeared remotely and shook his head repeatedly as the charges were read. Your reaction to seeing him through the closed-circuit feed today?
Okay, well, if you see a lifelong friend of yours in trauma, then you know what you would feel. That's what I feel.
Donald Jones cannot believe the child molestation accusations against his fellow Marine and longtime friend James Weems, a retired Baltimore police officer. He recently vacationed with James and his wife Shantari, who shot her husband after the allegations came to light last month.
I've been with these folks recently, and I've heard none of this. None of this. And I'm floored. And just in total shock.
Prosecutors detailed one of the most sweeping child abuse investigations in Baltimore County in decades. Investigators will be interviewing 93 children who interacted with James Weems at his wife's daycare, Little Kids Castle in Owings Mills.
All I can tell you specifically is that there is an ongoing investigation.
Court records WJZ obtained show the first allegation made on July 3rd. Parents found their child watching pornography on a tablet. The child accused James Weems of showing her where to find it and of sexually abusing her here in the daycare's secure playground.
Man, that disgusting piece of shit. Like, could you imagine as a parent, your child coming home telling you something like that, or you walking into a facility and seeing one of the staff watching a tablet with your child, something like that on a tablet? Could you? I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't imagine.
James drove the daycare van and made the victim sit in the front seat, according to charging documents, and warned her never to tell. A second victim came forward on July 21st and alleges being inappropriately touched and told he would get in trouble if he told anyone. A third victim, who also sat in the
said he would get in trouble if he told anyone. So that means he was touching the little boys and the little girls. Oh my God.
Front of the van alleges Weems touched her and exposed himself. An attorney for Weems' wife says when one of the parents revealed the abuse, she confronted her husband in a Washington, D.C. hotel. The argument turned heated, and she claims she shot him in self-defense. James Weems used a walker.
See, and it's that part right there. If I was that wife, no, it ain't no self-defense. I snapped. She snapped on his ass, I can understand that. I can understand why she would snap and it would get heated. He's lucky he was able to walk up out of there.
To steady himself during his court appearance, still injured from the shooting.
Being accused of victimizing children, which is something that we do not do.
And the public defender tried to get James Weems released, but the judge did not buy it. Now, James Weems had worked at that daycare for 4 years. He drove the van for 2 of those years. So that was that recap.
Man, and I'm glad they just...
And that was just horrible in itself. And what's even more sad is that last week a judge sentenced Shantari Weems to 4 years in a federal prison, saying that the prosecutors was too lenient on her and doubled her sentence. Listen to this.
Supporters of a Baltimore County daycare owner were stunned when she was sentenced to 4 years in federal prison today.
Now, she admits shooting her husband after learning of allegations he was abusing children in their care. WJZ investigator Mike Hogan is live with what is next and the outrage in the courtroom today. Mike.
Denise Vick, Shantari Weems' lawyer, tells us he'll do what he can to get her sentence modified, but there's no guarantee. A number of supporters believe justice was not served. They thought she would just walk out of court today a free woman. The judge said, no way.
I just can't imagine. No one expected this. 4 years no one expected that.
Outrage after a judge sentenced Baltimore County daycare owner Shantari Weems to 4 years in prison for shooting her husband after learning he molested children. Danita Wallace is Weems' childhood friend.
Just to think about being in that scenario, the level of rage, what would you do? What would anybody do? I'm not saying that you're supposed to take the law into your own hands, but I cannot begin to imagine when the person that you trust most in the world has not only violated your trust, has destroyed your business, and also violated children.
Weems, a former correctional officer who lives in Randallstown, ran Little Kids Castle in Owings Mills. Her husband, James Weems, is a former Baltimore City police officer. She said she thought of him as her protector and never imagined he would abuse vulnerable children at her daycare. When she learned of the allegations, she drove to the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in Washington, D.C. last July, where he was staying while working on a private security detail, and shot him twice.
I really thought time served was more than enough, and I cannot believe this judge did not accept even the plea deal that was offered by the government. When does this happen? It's really outrageous.
D.C. Judge Michael O'Keefe sentenced Weems to double what prosecutors had asked for as part of a guilty plea, calling her actions cruel and the deal too lenient. Tony Garcia is Shantari Weems' lawyer.
To get that kind of sentence is, frankly, to me, it's insulting. It simply doesn't make sense at all.
Now, James Weems remains jailed in Baltimore County. His trial is set for late May, and police say he was abusing his young victims inside the daycare's van because he knew there were no cameras there.
And see, it's that part for me. It's insulting. I don't think she should have got any time. I think it should have been time served. I agree, and I understand why the community is outraged. Like, I feel like that's messed up. That's messed up. I really hope that her lawyer can get her out on appeal. But we all know how the court system is. They don't care. They just don't care. Like I said in my video, I feel like she snapped. And it should be understandable why she snapped after hearing what her husband was doing. This is just so sad. You know, what about the kids? That's crazy. What message is they sending by saying no? You need to go to jail for what you did. What about what he did? Like, this is crazy, child. The system is messed up. But I wanted to bring that update nonetheless. So drop down in the comment box. Let's get y'all thoughts on it. With that being said, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. And hit that notification bell so you'll see when I drop new videos. And y'all follow me on all my platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. All at Sister Girl Talk TV.